My guest today is Peju Ojemuyiwa, an immigration consultant extraordinaire. You see, there's been a trove of people leaving Nigeria and Africa as a whole, seeking greener pastures. Peju is the managing partner at MichelleBelle Solutions, a company set up to assist people to make right immigration decisions. Of course, MichelleBelle Solutions, they do cover other things. I will allow, Peju to tell us more about herself, about her company, and how she and her team have been able to successfully help people with their immigration journeys. I'm looking forward to learning a whole lot myself. My name is Bimbola, and I'd like to welcome you listeners to Empowered by BlueSitron, a podcast where we discuss lifestyle, culture, and more. Welcome, Peju.
Thank you, Bimbo. Thanks for having me.
Good. Peju, you see, this whole immigration situation, it's a human situation to start with. We all, migrate here and there for several reasons, for different reasons. Okay, so I'd like you to tell us, or should I say, let's start with, at times people think, the grass is really greener on the other side. Should we actually start looking inwards to start watering our own garden and making it greener? Essentially, what is immigration all about? I'm trying to basically, be careful how I pick my words here. How did you even end up in this industry? How did you end up in, the immigration industry? What have you been able to do to assist people to make the right decision? People are always looking at, the grass is always green on the other side to everyone until you do get to that other side. And it may not be so green. Should you actually water your own side of the grass before actually, taking a leap? I know it's meant to be like a question, but I think I've said a whole lot already. So go on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So thank you. My name is Peju Ojemuyiwa, as Bimbo said, and managing partner in MichelleBelle Immigration Solutions, or Solutions, because we offer solutions across many different business areas and assisting individuals with their relocation plans. And I've been doing that well over 18 years now, since being in the UK. So Bimbo was just sort of, it's asking me what or why, how did I even get into this area? And I got into this assisting people with their relocation plans, making sure it's done right, because I saw that just a very simple mistake or not representing oneself well can cause, I suppose, refusals, and it can then start to snowball from there in terms of causing frustrations to individuals' relocation plans and everything else that come with that. And I experienced this firsthand when I was trying to relocate myself with my family back in 2015, even though I knew I met the requirements, with an initial refusal. And it was on the back of that, and I thought to myself, oh, okay, this is what would likely happen to people. And of course, since relocating successfully as well to the United Kingdom, and seeing what other areas of knowledge will be very helpful, I decided to set up MichelleBelle Immigration Solutions to ensure that the journey of other people that will be coming in will be a bit smoother. Quickly realize that where you settle down in the place you settle in when you relocate, the information you get is quite pivotal in how successful your relocation journey is. And MichelleBelle Solutions is focused on helping people get from their point A to their point B very quickly as it relates to their relocation goals. We don't want people just sort of swimming around all the different immigration pathway and not getting to their ultimate goal, which is mainly when people relocate, they're looking at something that will help them to settle in that country. And we ensure that the solutions we provide, we look at the individual scenarios And we just don't give visas. We ensure the solutions we provide help the individuals to get to that point. And so it's when you say, how did I get into it? And one of the things that keep us going is that we are people focused. We want to make sure that we deliver solutions that help them to do that.
Thanks, Peju. That's really insightful. And there's a question I actually have in mind. MichelleBelle helps people to do the right thing in terms of their relocation plans and submitting the right documents and so on and so forth, right? Do you, for benefit of listeners, someone that would end up listening to this could say, oh, this is interesting, who are these guys, who's MichelleBelle? Do you also help people to get jobs, set up businesses, advise them on things like that? Because it's all well and good to make that leap of wanting to migrate to another country, and in this case the United Kingdom. Do you advise people based on their different career plans or path? Do you advise people to how to get jobs as well?
Yes, we do advise that, and we actually have a division called Talent Management Solutions that also assists individuals looking for jobs and pairing them with employers. So for those who are interested in that, part of the service that MichelleBelle offers, the Talent Management Solution does exactly that. We have our immigration department that sort of works with visas and helps individuals make the right decisions on the correct visa they need to apply for the area that they're most suited for. And we represent them should they want us to represent them as well. We're authorized by the Immigration Services Commissioner at the highest level, so we can literally assist people with all visas. And where people have been refused as well, we come in and we try to see if we can overturn that by seeing what they are eligible for in accordance to the law. So we have varying solutions, as I did mention. One is the visa services as well, which you'd see on our visa site. We have relocation services for those who are interested in solutions. Sometimes candidates or clients have different needs. Some may just be interested specifically in us assisting them with their visas, like you rightly said. Oh, I want to set up a company in the UK, and I want to apply for a visa to be able to set up the company, and that's all they need. But some people need a bit more than that. They want more in-depth support, and therefore they are looking for the whole relocation package, which includes what you have asked about in terms of, do we assist them with the relocation package, the business plan, the setup in the UK, and even sometimes sitting in some of these companies as their compliance overlay to ensure that what the plan they've set up, everything, and sort of they achieve that at the end of it. So again, the package would differ for one person to one client to another client, just depending on what they want to do. But ultimately, what we do that sets us apart from every other service provider in our space is that we just don't provide visas. Often, we have worked journeys with people, from those who started with student visas and they didn't know how to sort of go through the next steps, and we then plan their relocation pathway for them. And we're like, well, this is what you need to do from here to here, and then we manage that. And we've seen many people, we've walked that journey with many people, or I have also walked that journey with many people, from student, for example, where they started, to indefinite leave to remain, and many of them have gone off from there. But it's quite exciting seeing and helping people sort of achieve their relocation goals, and not just coming in with visitor visas and then letting that expire, and then they're frustrated because they can't work, they can't have access to the medical services in the UK. Every time a policeman is coming around, they're sort of
agitated.
They're panicking and agitated. So we want to remove that. We want to empower people to say, look, anytime you are relocating to any country, especially UK, we only focus on the UK. Although we have partners for other countries, but we only focus on the UK. Anytime you are coming to the UK, we can show you how to do it properly and to empower you to achieve your goals and your dreams while you're here.
Fantastic. I think this is so important. A lot of people need to know, Nigerians or Africans or anyone really, that requires your services, they need to know more about, your company and the services that you render, because it's very important to get it right, and that's the mistake. You pointed on, people that may I've come on visiting visa and just want to hang in here, and and then it becomes a huge challenge, because they become a burden to themselves, not even the system. They actually become a burden to themselves, because they're looking over their shoulder. They're not sure who's going to be checking them out. They can't, use, the right services, such as health services, as you say. So this is super duper important for people to know that doing things right and, talking to the right people, like yourselves, MichelleBelle Solutions, it's really, really critical and key. And there is nothing wrong. As I say, migration has been happening forever, time immemorial. We all move and migrate from one place to another. As I say, humanity started in Africa. So people, literally migrated and moved towards the North Pole or South Pole or wherever pole, there is that they moved to, and that's it. And you just have to do things right, as it is now.
And you're quite right in that as well. There's so many reasons why people migrate. And one of the things that we also look at is, you talked about, do we coach people? We honestly, that differentiates us from, like I said, many other visa services, where all they're interested in is just give people visas, not caring whether it helps them to get to their goal. So usually we always ask people, why do you want to do this? Why are you wanting to migrate? What is the purpose for this? So someone says, we've had people say, oh, actually, I want to apply for a master's in the UK. And the first question I'll say is, and I've seen that they actually graduates from home, or they've got a master's degree from the country where they are currently residing. And instantly something sort of ticks up in my brain. I'm thinking, what's the need for a second or a third master's? I want to know. So I'm like, what's the reason for this? And they were like, well, it's because I want to settle in the UK. I'm like, so why do you want to start with masters? That's going to be 2 or 3 years of your life that is not going to move you towards where you were going. Are there better alternative solutions, better visa entry points that you can use to come in, that starts to get you faster, starts to immediately get you towards your goal of settlement? And so sometimes people come to us with an idea that this is a visa they want, but by the time we've had a consultation with them, we've provided another solution that gets them towards their goal quicker, rather than just the loop of starting something and going round and round in circles.
You see, what you say is so pivotal, because I do know a few people that, had to take that decision of actually doing a master's degree to be able to move to the UK or Canada or wherever that people are moving to these days. And you're right, sometimes a master's degree is not always the route to go. How many masters do we want to hold? Nigerians are known to have several degrees. It's crazy, but and to be fair, if that's what works for them, I get it. In the sense that maybe that's the easiest route for them. In the sense that the other options may be possible, maybe there will be limitations on other options, and this is where I actually want you to shed a little bit of light on. So say for example, there's a woman who's got a family, or a guy with a family, and they decided, we're tired of Nigeria, the system is not working for us, we just want to relocate to the West, we'll prefer UK, and then we have to go through this master's route because there's an age limitation. So what would you advise them? Maybe they don't have enough money for investment route, or maybe there isn't even investment route. Obviously there are different routes to move to the UK, right? To relocate to the UK. And again, this is April 2022. Correct me if I'm wrong. Every April, the Home Office come up with something different and something new. And we all know 2020 happened to everyone in the world. The pandemic happened, and we all had one or two challenges here and there, either directly or indirectly, in the sense that our families or friends or someone we know went through one thing or the other during that period. And of course, the world was shaken to a point, and suddenly you see countries opening up to people, especially if you get it right, and then the STEM became a big deal, which I think it's the Australian style and probably the Canadian style as well. And I think UK also wants to start doing that now, or they're already doing it. So this is April 2022 that just passed, and obviously there will be new rules. I'm thinking, I don't know, I should ask you because you're the expert. So, if we look into someone that has an age limitation, maybe because the person is in their late 30s, or maybe they're even in their early 30s, but they're not 30. Yes, maybe they're like 31, 32, 33, let's say between 31 to 49, right? And they really want to move to the UK, and the only option they have is, a master's degree, because they can't go through any other route. What would you say? What would you advise? Because, you say maybe a master's may not be the way, especially if they've done master's degrees, or they're even professionals, like they've had God knows how many other, maybe even they already even have a PhD. So just because they want to relocate, they need to have a master's. What would you advise whereby their limitations, hindering them, and they just have to fall back to these master's options? What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, you're quite right in that, in each individual background is one of the things that we consider, and it's the reason why we always invite people to a consultation first. The background of the applicant or potential applicant is so important, because that's where we can sort of dig deep and see what they what their strengths are, and what they can bring as opposed to the table. And what's also important as well is that, like I said, what is the reason why they are relocating? It is their business case, and they must know what their business case is, so that at every point in time they can continue to look at this and check whether their business case is valid. The good thing is, without going specifically into all the different immigration routes in the UK at the moment, the good thing is that there isn't a lot of routes that have age barriers. Age is really not an issue to come into the UK on many different levels, for example, except maybe I think the youth mobility, where once you are over 30 you cannot apply. And in any way, Nigeria is not one of those countries, or most African countries cannot apply for youth mobility anyway, because they are not part of those that qualify for that. So luckily for us, there's so many other categories that people can look into. There's a sort of global talent route as well for those who are, have some specific sort of skill sets in maybe data analysis, IT, and if they are, they can come in as an emerging talent, or more experienced or recognized talent and things like that. So again, when we have that consultation, we have an idea if the individual would be able to fall into any other category that would help them to start their relocation journey quicker, rather than starting from another master's. And there's nothing really wrong in starting from another master's or from another study if that is the only available route to them. The exploratory discussion they have with us will then also help them to establish that indeed this is the only avenue that I can explore. But at least I think it's worth looking at before going to invest the finances in another master's, where study was not the real objective or the real goal from the very beginning. And the reason that I would not support that, or we don't support that, we don't sort of advise it when we have a consultation to say, look, go and start with study first, is that the year that they use in study does not count towards settlement. So if you're using a year or 2 years in study, it doesn't count towards your settlement. And after the study, at the moment, there is the graduate visa that the Home Office have introduced, which is they brought back the post-study work visa all over again. And individuals can have about 2 years after that. Again, the graduate visa does not lead to settlement. So imagine if you use 1 year in study or 1.5 years to complete your master's, you get 2 years post-study visa, another 2 years. So you've used about 3.5 years, and all of those do not lead to settlement. You still have to fall back to that area of transitioning into another category that starts you towards your that begins to start you towards your settlement journey. So if settlement was your ultimate goal from the very beginning, I would advise that you have a consultation, look at have this exploratory conversation around how can I get towards that settlement journey as quickly as possible. For some, they're able to do that. We're able to show that with their experience. There might be pathway that they can start with. For example, the skilled worker categories. It's never been as easy as it is now for employers in the UK to be able to employ people from abroad or internationally. And employers are really looking forward to this. As you know, there's a sort of skills drain everywhere, and employers are open to recruiting internationally. But many people would not even think about that, or they don't know how to go about it. So our talent management division can assist with that, to say, okay, if that's what you're interested in, then you can go to our talent management division. They can see how they can help you with that. There's also the sole representative for those who are senior staff in overseas entities who want to be to come and set up the first UK entity of that business. We have done that with many individuals over the years, from India, from Nigeria. And the business that you need to do as well, there's no specific business that you need to come and set up in the UK. As long as you have your business plan, for example, and your expansion sort of purpose, and you can show this. So if there are people in that sphere and we do not have an initial exploratory discussion with them, and they just simply go into a category that does not allow them to settle, whereas they may have something else that actually allows them to come in a category that can move them towards settlement immediately, then that's what we want to find and be able to show the potential candidates that indeed, rather than 3.5 years that you would have in the
that would
UK,
be wasted. Yeah,
that would be wasted in court. You could actually start this 3.5 years could actually start towards your indefinite leave to remain.
This is so interesting.
Yeah, and sometimes some of my the colleagues in the UK visa industry, they think that is a bit of a waste. Why would you be doing that? They've said to me, because obviously the longer your potential applicant stays in the visa cycle, the better for the visa companies, because you keep making money.
They keep
every
making
time,
money. Yeah.
Every time the applicant wants to apply. But for us and for me, because I'm a life coach as well, my goal is to get people from where they are now to where they want to be. And how quickly they can get there. For example, I relocated as well with my family in 2005, and we got our indefinite leave to remain in 4 years. And that was because I had a background working with the British Council, where we used to process visas and things. So I already knew where we were going and how we were going to do that within a reasonable time, rather than being in a system for 10 years and not being able to get out of it.
This is so, important. And there are a lot of people that fall in this category of, not knowing what to do. And obviously, as you say, your colleagues in the industry, they're just about the money, but because of your own personality, and also just having, as you say, you're also a life coach, so you have that empathy, and for you're more interested in making things happen for people. You're providing a solution. At the end of the day, it's a solution, as opposed to, yes, business nonetheless, but a solution, to solve a problem, a solution. And that's so good. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. And I hope people do get to listen and watch this podcast and take a lot of learning from it, because this is very important. People have wasted money, and I use the term wasted because things could have been done in the right way. If only they would talk to people like yourselves, if only they would come to, the MichelleBelles of this world. You see what I mean? And it's all about getting it right. And we can't all get it right. And that's why we have professionals that do these things. And that's where you fall in. This is your profession. And this is something you've been doing for years. And as you say, this is something you've been doing for 18 years. And you have helped people, Nigeria, India, and so many other places. And that's what we want to hear. I mean, the testimonies definitely is there. And I know people that you've also, assisted in the past as well. So honestly, kudos to you and your team. This is just great. This is great. I can't praise you enough.
Thank you so much. It's really so fulfilling, and it's amazing to walk these journeys with people. We can't count how many people we've helped to migrate, but not just migrate anyhow, migrate successfully.
And,
their families are settled in the UK. Some are still on the journey at the moment because it's recent and it's continuous. But there's so many people that, we've helped to sort of migrate successfully, and it's amazing just being able to have that impact. And to also let people know that, look, once you have a goal of migrating, it can actually be established. There's nothing that can be established. There's nothing sort of impossible. Sometimes we might have to project manage a few things. It's just that sometimes people want something now, and that is where the issue is. But if you don't meet the requirements today, if you're not evidencing, then you know what requirements to meet. It might take you 6 months to plan it out and then be able to eventually qualify. And then we're there with you to walk that journey to make it happen. And that's where our coaching also sort of comes into it. We walk that journey almost as though, we're the individuals, applying for that. It's very important to us.
And currently, I mean, the UK they've been very busy with, getting people from Nigeria. I mean, the relationship has always been there, to be honest, and there's been that increase of wanting more Nigerians. Students come over. We want the best of you and all of that. So, okay. Okay. Yeah.
In fairness to the UK, I mean, when the UK sort of sees that, there's going to be a sort of brain drain somewhere, or there's going to be a gap somewhere, they quickly fashion something to be able to fill that gap. So, for example, they brought back the graduate visa route last year. And they had stopped that many years ago. And because when they stopped it many years ago, they stopped the post-study visa. When they stopped it, many people were no longer coming to the UK to study.
Yeah, people found alternatives. They just went to other places.
Absolutely. Other countries like Australia, took over and were more were more attractive to the students. But the UK thought, actually, with Brexit that's happened to us, we had better quickly bring these guys back in. Because in fairness, the international students, it was very clear many years ago, and even till now, that international students and the money they bring into the UK economy is significant. So of course, huge. Absolutely. And therefore, UK thought, we better do something about this. And so therefore, they brought back that post-study work visa. But what is really vital to note to our listeners is that this avenues, that anytime the UK introduces an avenue, is only going to be there for a period of time that the UK needs it.
That's right.
It's not going to be there forever. And one of the things that we say to people is that if you qualify for something now, go for it now and just have it. Even if you don't want to use it eventually, just have it and have it there. Because when you're going to be thinking, oh, actually, I'm going to apply later, then they may have felt, actually, we've exhausted. Absolutely. We've exhausted and we've had enough of this, now. We've got enough money. We've hit our targets, sort of.
And off you go.
And off you go. Absolutely. So, and that's the reason why, they've opened up the doors to, a lot of, if you call it Nigerians now, not necessarily Nigerians, but international students. But they know
that's right.
that they know where their market is, and one of their top markets is actually Nigeria.
It's Nigeria. They do,
that most of Africa, and also they with the Brexit as well. We've had sort of drain in those in certain sectors. A lot of sectors are actually struggling to recruit properly in the UK. The health sector, the construction sector, the hospitality sector. And so many people from Africa at the moment are coming in also to work in the health sector as well. Again, it's only going to be there. They've made this route there and made it easy for employers to be able to employ. And it's only going to be there for as long as they need it to fill the gap that we have at the moment. So we don't know how long this is going to be, but we've seen a few people sort of reskilling themselves to say, or some graduates who have not really found any work in Nigeria, or they're not doing something that they found fulfillment in. We've seen a few people sort of trying to reskill themselves in, for senior carer jobs or healthcare jobs, and coming to the UK. Again, our talent management solutions can assist with that if anybody wants that. And there have been some other people who are maybe more experienced and thinking, do I want to come in the care as a carer or something like that. And we'll say, look, let's look at your background. Potentially, you may be able to, come in, you don't need to sort of change altogether what you've been doing before. But again, we don't force anyone. Obviously, everybody has their own final decisions to make. What we do is that we help to provide solutions that they can then choose from, and they don't feel like, oh, this is the singular solution I have. Because from that exploratory decision, just exploratory conversation, just going back to that, it helps to then narrow down, say, actually, you've got option A, option B, option C, and then you can choose which option. And then also have realistic expectations with whatever option that has been chosen, to say, this is how I'm going to work this option. This is who I need to work it with me. And it will probably take this length of time to get to where I'm going.
Fantastic. And there's something that you, thank you. There's something that you said that is extremely pivotal. There is an expiry date to whatever the UK does. Literally, people need to, I mean, you didn't use that term, but that's just me, paraphrasing in that sense. Like, yes, postgraduate studies back, and all the extensions of, getting the visa, student visa, and taking time, extra time to spend in the UK, and then, finding your feet and all of that. There's an expiry to that, people. Essentially, once they get their quota, they're able to meet their targets, they could just say goodbye, So that, again, essentially, if there's anything that you need to do now, and you feel like, okay, UK is back giving this, this new type of visa whereby I don't need sponsor. This is just example. We don't need sponsors. Or as soon as I finish my first degree or master's degree, I'm going to have 2 years post-study and all of that. Just do it now. Do it now while you can, as opposed to waiting because you thinking, oh, UK is going to do that forever. No, there's an expiry to everything. So yes. It's just what it is, So yeah.
I mean, they've done it before in 2012 when they sort of took away the highly skilled migrant program, and not too long afterwards the post-study visa. So they can always do it again at any time.
They can do it again, exactly.
It took them almost 9 years before they brought it back.
Yeah, it took them 9 years, took Brexit, and then also saying that the money they could be making was going elsewhere. Absolutely. And education is a big market for them. I know how they go to Nigeria and, sell all these, universities and all of that, and sell the country. Oh my goodness, the marketing machine is just, it's mind blowing.
That was the plan.
Yeah, Peju, you've said a lot of things that are so important that would help people, and of course, again, this is not limited to Nigerians. This is, anyone seeking immigration assistance and a journey, as opposed to, hey, here's the visa, this is what you do, thank you, goodbye. No, that's not what you guys are about. That's not what MichelleBelle Solutions is about. It's a whole encompassing, single source, sort of solution company. I reckon there will be people out there that would want you, as you yourself, as you say, you're also a life coach. I reckon there'll be people that will want you to be their mentor. Are you a mentor, or has anyone approached you to actually mentor them in any capacity or form?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a mentor. I have, sort of colleagues that I've mentored in the immigration space. I mentor them to become immigration consultants. I've had people approach me who have come into the UK where they've been a dependent, maybe of of their partner who's on a student, and they've been lawyers from Nigeria. And transitioning into, I suppose being a solicitor here is not exactly easy, but, they wanted to also become an immigration consultant, and they've approached me, and I've successfully assisted them to do that, mentored them and coached them towards what their goal was. And they've started their own sort of practice now, or working, in that space, and it's phenomenal. All of this, I have a mentorship and my coaching website called p2bconsult.com, which is hard to become, p2bconsult.com. And it just that's where I coach individuals, businesses, and anyone who wants to run a business and do not know how to do it as well. Just help people to achieve their goals and to show them that it is possible. Oftentimes, people where they don't know the tools or what to do, they lose a little bit of confidence, and we try to bring that back to say, look, it's possible. So yeah, definitely coach people with their relocation journey into the UK. I've walked that journey before as well. So I bring in a lot of my personal experience over the years, also personal experiences of, clients, of course, without necessarily divulging any client's personal data. But, we use examples to say, look, you don't need to go this way, or you can go this way. And also we able to sort of connect people to other platforms that would help them to be able to thrive quicker. So I think you would have heard from me throughout all this time that we've started, sort of talking about this from the very beginning, that I've been sort of talking about helping people get from where they are to where they want to go. That's my sole passion and my sole purpose, in fact. And I've just sort of brought back that into the UK immigration and that's why we have that relocation coaching. Like, it's a one-stop 360-degree solution by not just providing visas, but helping people get from where they want to go. But personally, I coach and mentor as well. And I've coached quite a lot of women and individuals to setting up their businesses, coach people. There was a lady that last year somebody introduced to me, a good friend of mine introduced to me, and she wanted to relocate to the UK. She's been struggling with it. She didn't know what to do, and she kept telling me, is it possible? I said, look, everything is possible. Let's just start working. And I wish I could play you the voice note she sent me 2 days ago. 2 days ago, she's got her visa. She said, I booked my ticket. I'm coming on the 29th of May. And such has been the, sort of stories that we've heard, feedbacks that we've heard. And, definitely I look forward to being able to help more people achieve their goals through MichelleBelle Immigration Solutions, or even if they wanted to, they're not relocating, but they're back home or back wherever home might be for them. And they're just thinking, look, how do I get to the next step? And they can contact me, and, that if they wanted sort of one-to-one coaching, or to say, look, Peju, how did you set up this kind of business in the UK as someone who's relocated? Because obviously I sit in MichelleBelle as a managing partner, but I also sit in a few other companies as a non-executive director as well. So I can show them that, look, it is possible, and what they need to do to take one step after another to get to their goal ultimately.
And what a passion you have, Peju. That's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. Peju, thank you so much for your time today. I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. Honestly, I wish this could just go on and on, because there's so much to, learn and uncover from what you guys are doing, and how I'm lost for word. I was just about to say how your passion has actually been translated into what you do for work. And if we look at what you do for work, it's actually also your passion, which is essentially helping people, to get from where they are to where they want to be. It just so happens to fall within, the immigration spectrum. So well done. Hats off to you. This is so amazing.
It's amazing.
And I feel lucky to know you. And it's I just feel very lucky to know you, honestly.
Thank you so much, Bimbo. Really humbling to hear that. I feel lucky to know you as well. I know in your space you're doing so great things as well. Fantastic. And we're really sort of privileged and sort of blessed. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me on your show. Of course.
Thank you. Well, a big thanks to our listeners. There's so much to learn and to unpack here. And for those that would be interested in looking to relocate, if you haven't yet, or those are already in the UK, because MichelleBelle Solutions focuses on the UK. So if you're already in the UK and you have one or two, immigration situation that you would need to, solve, then MichelleBelle Solutions is your best bet. They can, give you that whole 360, degree support. It all depends on what it is that you would like, to tackle. So thank you once again to the listeners, and until next time, it's been from BlueSitron. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye now.